I just closed a $10,000 contract for a project that most people would find mind-numbingly boring, and that is exactly why it paid so well. While everyone else is trying to make $3 a day selling AI-generated coloring books on Amazon, I am using large language models to solve a massive, expensive problem in the commercial real estate sector: lease abstraction. If you have never heard that term, good. That means the market isn't saturated with teenagers from TikTok. Lease abstraction is the process of taking a 100-page legal document, a commercial lease, and extracting every critical date, dollar amount, and legal clause into a searchable database. Property managers have thousands of these documents, and usually they are buried in a filing cabinet or a messy Google Drive. When they miss a rent increase or a tax escalation clause because they didn't want to read page 84 of a contract, it costs them tens of thousands of dollars. I'm going to show you exactly how to use AI to do this work in minutes instead of hours, and why you should be charging at least $150 per document. Most people trying to make money with AI right now are focused on content creation. They want to write blog posts or make AI videos. That is a race to the bottom. The real money is in data extraction and risk mitigation. The biggest mistake I see beginners make is thinking they can just upload a 50-page legal PDF to the standard ChatGPT interface and ask it to summarize the lease. If you do that, you are going to get sued. Standard LLMs hallucinate numbers, they miss nuances in force majeure clauses, and they often skip over small print that changes the entire financial profile of a building. You cannot use a general-purpose prompt for a high-stakes financial document. You need a structured workflow that includes a specific extraction schema and a human-in-the-loop validation step. The method I use doesn't rely on the chat part of AI. It relies on the reasoning and extraction capabilities. First, you need to understand what you are looking for. A commercial landlord doesn't care about the vibe of the lease. They care about 5 things: the commencement date, the base rent schedule, the common area maintenance or CAM charges, the renewal options, and the termination rights. To do this properly, you aren't going to use ChatGPT. You are going to use Claude 3.5 Sonnet or a specialized OCR tool like DocSumo or Amazon Textract. Claude is currently the king of this niche because its 200,000 token context window can swallow a massive lease in one go without losing track of the details at the end of the document. Here is the step-by-step workflow. Step 1 is the ingestion phase. You don't just upload a PDF, you use an OCR, optical character recognition engine, to convert the document into clean, structured text. Many commercial leases are scans of scans from the 1990s. If the AI can't read the text, it will guess, and guessing is how you lose your contract. I use a tool like Marker, or even the built-in OCR and specialized AI document processors to ensure the text is flawless. Step 2 is the schema definition. You tell the AI exactly what to look for using a JSON format. I tell the AI, find the base year for operating expenses. If it is not explicitly stated, look for the text related to tax base on pages 10 through 20. By giving the AI a roadmap, you reduce the error rate by about 90%. You aren't asking it to be creative, you are asking it to be a digital highlighter. Step 3 is the recursive audit. This is where you make your money. You run a second AI agent, I usually use a different model like GPT-4o, to check the work of the first model. I give it the extracted data and the original text and say, find 3 reasons why this extraction might be wrong. This adversarial approach catches the small hallucinations that would otherwise ruin the report. I recently applied this to a portfolio of 65 commercial units in downtown Chicago. The property management firm was paying an intern to do this manually. It was taking the intern 4 hours per lease, and the error rate was nearly 20%, because, let's be honest, reading leases is exhausting. I processed all 65 leases in a single afternoon. My total compute cost was less than $20. I charged them $6,500 for the project. That is a 99% profit margin. They were thrilled because they got the data in 48 hours instead of 3 weeks, and my error rate was lower than their interns. If you want to start doing this today, do not go to Upwork and search for AI jobs. You will find nothing but bottom feeders. Instead, you need to target a specific persona, the mid-market property manager or real estate investment trust (REIT) associate. These people are drowning in paperwork.
They don't need AI consulting, they need their leases abstracted. Your foot in the door offer is the 5-lease audit. You tell them, give me 5 of your most complex leases. I will provide a full abstraction report and a gap analysis for free. If the data is more accurate than what you have now, we can discuss the rest of your portfolio. Once they see the speed and the clean data format, usually a CSV or an Excel sheet that plugs directly into their property management software like Yardi or AppFolio, the sale is almost automatic. Let's talk about the tools, because this is where people get stuck. Stop using the free version of anything. If you are serious about making money, you need the API versions. You should be using a tool like make.com to connect your document storage to your AI model. This allows you to drop a file into a folder and have the extracted Excel sheet pop out the other side. This isn't just a side hustle, it is a scalable business process. I have an opinion on why most people will fail at this. They are lazy. They want the AI to do 100% of the work. In high-ticket AI services, the AI does 90%, and you do the 10% that involves quality control. You must spend 30 minutes at the end of every project spot-checking the dates and dollar signs. If you provide a report with one wrong date, you lose the client. If you provide a report that is 99% accurate, you have a client for life. The real opportunity here is that the Big 4 accounting firms charge $30,000 to $50,000 for the same service. They have massive overhead and use legacy software. You, as a lean operator using the latest Anthropic or OpenAI models via API, can underbid them by 70% and still make a killing. To get started today, go to LinkedIn, search for property manager or asset manager in the commercial space. Look for companies that have between 50 and 500 units. These are the Goldilocks clients, big enough to have a problem, small enough not to have a dedicated legal department to handle it. Don't send a generic "I can do AI" message. Send a specific message. I noticed your firm manages 40 properties in the medical niche. I specialize in AI-assisted lease abstraction to help managers recover missed CAM charges and track expiration dates. Can I audit 3 of your leases to show you the accuracy? This is not a get-rich-quick scheme where you click a button and money falls out. It requires you to understand a tiny bit about how a lease works and how to prompt an AI for structured data. But while everyone else is fighting over pennies in the AI art world, you can be the person solving a 5-figure problem for an industry that has more money than it knows what to do with. The tech is here. The models are smart enough. The only thing missing is the person to bridge the gap between the messy PDF and the clean spreadsheet. If you aren't afraid of a little boring work, the profit margins are waiting. Stop looking for the next viral tool and start looking for the next expensive problem. Lease abstraction is just one. There are dozens of others in the legal and insurance space, but this is the one that is paying my bills right now. If you want the exact prompt sequences I use for legal extraction and the adversarial audit workflow, check the link in the description. I've mapped out the entire process so you don't have to spend 3 weeks figuring out how to stop the AI from hallucinating dates. This is the difference between playing with AI and building a business with it. Build something that actually saves a business owner time and money, and they will never stop paying you. Get to work.